Like, I love Parasite, but it is not a subtle movie.
No, not at all.
You've got
Bong
a guy banging
his thing is not subtlety in any of his movies.
Right. Although the pizza box scene reminds me of working for Mechanical Turk, because I'm essentially just folding the boxes, just trying to make pennies.
This is Hoot and Holler, a podcast about the Ozarks.
The end.
Every great podcast has a cat in the background.
Okay, sorry about that. I had to kick Margot out. Okay.
All right. Well, we were talking about Biden's grift.
Ugh.
The audacity.
Imagine. Truly.
My question is, what does he actually want? What are we supposed to believe that us sending him money right now is going to do? And he hasn't had to do a financial report of what he has, like, cash on hand since the election, which I tried to look up. And it's not due, I think, until the end of this month, maybe. So how is this going to help the transition?
Yeah, I mean, is it just to pay for, $20,000 a day lawyer salaries?
Yeah, I think that's mostly it, is to pay for salaries for people like on these transition teams. And while obviously
Ivy League kids.
Yeah, like, and obviously, like, nobody should work for free by any means, but like, we are facing an eviction crisis, unlike one we've ever seen in this country. We're facing an economic crisis of the working class. I'm so sorry, but for somebody I barely wanted to vote for, I'm not going to give you any money so you can run the government. Like, not trying to be mean, but like, buddy, you got to figure this one out on your own. Like, you can't have run against Donald Trump and like not consider this to be a possibility. If you want to transition money, you should have saved your transition money. Like, Jesus.
And also the fact that the people on these transition teams are, oil and gas executives, and they're asking us to pay their salaries. It's just absurd.
Yeah.
We have to pay for our friends' GoFundMes for their health care,
Yeah.
Like, so don't ask us to pay for your lawyer fees, Joe.
Jesus Christ. I will say, the left is... let's say the left. The liberals tend to be too stupid to grift to, like, successfully pull it off. So I am proud of them for really trying on this one. I feel like they really gave it the old college try.
They're rising to meet the occasion.
And they were
finally.
like, man, I know. Yeah. Like,
this is the first time I've believed them.
Yeah. They
did learn something from watching Trump.
Yeah, I mean, you gotta respect it a little bit. Like, we have been saying that liberals need to be a little more what's the word I'm looking for?
A little tougher.
You can cut this, Pat. This is terrible. I'm gonna skip this thought.
Just ruthless.
Yeah, ruthless.
But they're being ruthless against their voters rather than the
guys,
people they should be.
We were so close.
That's not what we meant.
Yeah.
Right, exactly. You got halfway there.
And everything that I was worried about with a Biden win is coming to pass. That liberals would see the win and be smug about it. See, we did we did back the right guy, as if Biden would have stood a chance at all if there wasn't COVID. And
Yes,
and the fact they're just
exactly.
going to continue to be so smug about it while learning absolutely nothing.
I love that they think that just all our problems are solved. Like, this is, all the kids are going to be out of the cages. None of our friends are going to lose their rights or their health care. Like, it's fine because big bad man Trump is going to be dragged out of office. And it's just like, God damn it, you guys. Have you learned, like, literally nothing in the last 4 years?
There are still
That's,
some
like,
liberals
very
who
interest-
believe he's going to be arrested, which is hilarious.
God.
I saw someone, a Lincoln Project guy, wrote
Ugh.
an op-ed today
Hmm.
that said, Biden needs to pardon Trump as an act to show unity for the nation.
What?
He
Imagine.
needs to do what Ford did for Nixon, and then that will bring us together.
Yes. I
It's
can't
maddening.
imagine seeing where our nation is just at right now, and typing out those words, looking them over, proofreading, sending it to an editor, like taking the time to email it to them, and being like, yeah, I stand by this. This is a hot and good take to have. Like, how fucking just disconnected do you have to be? Also, who the fuck's listening to anybody from the Lincoln Project right now? Jesus Christ.
After what they've been saying for the last 4 years, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, he's a criminal, he's a fascist, but he shouldn't have to pay for those crimes.
It's like this is going to be, Donald Trump is going to take up, like, curling or whatever, like, cute senior activity like W did. And people are like, oh my God, it's so cute. Like, he paints these people that he, died over in Afghanistan because of him. Like, what?
We're going
I
to
didn't
pivot
get to go to it, but did for any reason did anyone go to? George Bush had an art show not at Bookmarks, unfortunately. he wasn't my art walk artist. It was at Bass Pro.
What?
Where he showed, like...
Josh, you have got to be fucking kidding me.
I have
when
no
was this?
clue. This was probably, I don't know, 9 months ago, like last year sometime. Oh, no, it was
What?
pre-COVID, so probably, I don't know, but...
Was
I
he there?
remember they did.
We should have done a Thomas Crown Affair art heist and just stolen all of his paintings.
Was he there?
I know
Did
that
he show up
he
to the
was
show?
here. Oh.
He was not there.
Oh. Too bad.
So they had one here at Crystal Bridges, and he actually was here. One of my friends' was, like, his handler at Crystal Bridges at the big Walton Museum up here for the time that he was here. That was, like, maybe like a couple years ago, so.
I do love Crystal
What we
Bridges.
needed to have done
Yeah.
was to have brought the Iraqi journalist shoe thrower to that opening and let
my
him
God.
have another shot.
That the world in which the shoe connected is a better place.
There is another... There is an alternative universe in which it did.
That timeline is the one that I put myself into to go to sleep at night.
Also, that guy rules because when people tweet at him on Twitter about it, he always says, "Thank you, my dear."
Actually, I think I remember a few weeks ago he got canceled.
Oh, no.
Oh, no.
I'm not sure on the details.
Did he get
but-
canceled for disconnecting and not hitting George Bush? Because that I would cancel him for that. Have better aim, buddy.
Like, man, you had one shot at this, bud. Like, how did you fuck this up?
He wouldn't have missed Trump because Trump can't move as quick. Like, Bush is kind of agile, but
The way he dodged those shoes was
He would've-
pretty impressive, honestly.
Yeah, I don't
honestly,
really love I don't love giving W any praise, but yeah, I gotta give it to my man W that he really blocked and tackled that shoe like a
He
champ.
did. He did.
As somebody who has had things thrown at them on stage, I don't know that I could have reacted that quickly.
Yeah, Trump certainly could not.
he'd be doing his weird stand where he
He would
leaned
just be
forward, so you
knocked
wouldn't
over.
have had time to like lean. Yeah.
God, I just, and this is gonna sound like some like liberal jerk off fantasy, but I would love to see somebody just nail Trump with a shoe.
No,
Yeah, I mean,
perfect fantasy to have.
And he
Yeah, I
just
mean, it really
chips
is.
right over. That would be nice.
yeah. He's like a turtle on its back. It takes like 6 Secret Service agents to get him back up.
My other favorite thing that happened.
I don't know why
This
that's so
week.
funny.
It is.
I would donate to the Biden-Harris transition if they could make that happen.
If
I-
that was their one thing they were asking is, we're trying to build a shoe big enough to throw at Donald Trump.
I'd pledge.
You know what I
$10.
realized, which I think this is going to actually happen. Like, I thought about it, and now I'm sure of it. So, since he's not going to go quietly, he will not go to the inauguration.
No,
Right.
no.
Like,
Right,
to be like,
there's no way
No
that
way.
he's going to sit back there as a loser.
No.
Like he's done so many times when there's been like debates he walked out of because Megyn Kelly was going to be unfair to him or something like that. He is going to have a rally at the same time as the inauguration, right?
Oh my
yes.
God, Josh. I think
You're completely
this is
right.
Hoot and Holler Pod's first prediction, and Josh, you're absolutely correct. That's 100% gonna happen. And it's gonna be
What
just like
state?
some shithole town. It's gonna be fucking Harrison or something.
He's going to try to be the president in exile after they force him out, and he's going to claim to have gotten bigger ratings and a bigger crowd and just all of the things he always does, but he is going to do it. I'm sure of it.
God, he's gonna
I'm
be
sure of it.
like some like canceled comedian on like their comeback tour. He's gonna be Louis, doing like these teeny tiny little clubs. It's gonna be fucking Trump at like the Harrison Goblins football stadium.
I have
And
seen.
a woman will get up and shout, and he'll say, "Get her out of here."
Yes.
I feel like I have seen some of the flags come down in the area. A few of the houses on the way out to my house have taken their flags down, and I've seen less trucks with flags lately driving around.
Man, we
observation.
must be. I say we. They must be holding strong in Fayetteville. I had to go pick up a piece of furniture, from way out past Fayetteville yesterday, and on the way there, I had to turn off onto a county road. And from the time I turned off onto the county road till I got to these people's houses, I counted 8 Trump flags, like proudly hanging in people's yards.
There are still some up, but including the very funny one that Pat put in the Discord of the Biden Looney Tunes, which is hung next to a Trump as Rambo flag.
The classic. The Duggars have that one. I think
They do.
I think,
They do.
I think
Or at
that
least
one
they
is a
did.
classic.
I need to drive by.
yeah, we need to see if the Duggars have been cucked
Yeah.
by the steel.
You know what? After we get done recording today, I will. I'll get in the car and I'll drive by. It's like 10 minutes from my house.
Nice.
I'll see if I can. I'll live stream it for you guys.
Yes.
Thank you.
A live
Seriously
stream
looking forward to
event.
this.
Yeah. I'm gonna
I
get
don't have
arrested for
internet.
trespassing. I'll
Don't
figure
stop
it out.
live
Well,
streaming.
Yeah. As I'm hauled away by the Jesus police.
Yeah.
They should have a special like Jesus police security guard on the compound just to protect the Duggars.
And it's all just like the husbands of the women, of the girls in that family. So Josh, if you marry one of the Duggars, you could be a member of the Jesus police.
How could I pull? Okay, I'm getting some ideas how to catfish a Duggar.
There's
We'll see.
there's already a Josh Duggar though.
I'll change my name to, I don't know, Josiah. They probably have a Josiah.
Well, Josh,
I think they
I
have
don't
a
think that-
Josiah.
They do. But I don't think that you'll be changing your last name. I imagine that she would become
Oh, true.
Mrs.
Oh,
True.
You know, J.
yeah.
McMuffin Cop Alfnet. I think that's what.
Yeah. This could honestly,
I would love.
this could work because I could move to Northwest Arkansas, get the $10,000, get my mountain bike, and then marry a Duggar.
I'm gonna have to come
This is
pick
perfect.
Josh up off the Razorback Greenway because he's lost. He's got Googie in a basket.
His lovely bride on the back seat of the bike.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, Googie's getting a sidecar.
Oh well, obviously, yeah. That was
Yeah.
Our boy can't be riding in anything less than luxury.
And goggles, I hope.
Oh my god.
So the thing that I've seen from the people, like the Trump supporters right now, who haven't taken down their flags, there seems to be a huge divide between people on like the Breitbart comments. They're divided between trust the process people who delusionally believe he's going to do it, and people who are starting to doubt because they believed that Q was going to arrest people and Trump was going to do all this stuff. And so there seems to be a 50-50 divide. And so I think the Trump flag people still are just like, how funny is it going to be on January 2021 when Donald's elected again? We're going to be laughing so hard at you. But they believe it.
They really
Is it
do,
only
like, with
the
all their
QAnon
hearts.
people who still believe it?
No.
It's not just QAnon
It's just conservatives.
believers?
Yeah.
Dan Bongino is all in.
So I was trying to see what Holly was up to, and Holly has not tweeted about that at all. He only tweets about big tech.
Really?
He's not. Yeah, he is not. He's not a loyal Trump guy.
So
Well,
he's the kind of
that's-
person who, when their friend gets canceled, which being in the comedy scene, I see this happen quite a bit. Like when their friend gets canceled, they won't like publicly support them, but when people make a post like defending them, they'll like all the supportive comments, but they won't ever say anything themselves.
Perfect
yeah.
analogy.
Exactly.
And then like in the
It's-
group chats, they'll be like, yeah, I mean, I like Donald. Like I can't really book him anymore, but like, he's an okay guy. Like, maybe in a couple
I don't know
weeks
him
is
that
all-
well.
Yeah, like
He's never been shitty to me.
yeah,
Yeah.
I had to pull him off stage one time because he mixed a bunch of Xanax and a bunch of whiskey. Like, but it was a one-time thing, and then he did yell at that lady, and then he did use that slur one time. But like, other than that, he's totally fine.
It is going to be
I-
interesting to see how that shakes out with voters when it comes time for re-election.
hmm
Time will tell on that, I guess.
You mean for Trump's reelection, 2024? He's talking about doing, I guess.
I think we were going to talk later about the who I presume will be a Republican frontrunner in 2024, but I think Donald Trump will try to make a run for it if he's still alive, and I genuinely don't know that he will. I think his heart might explode soon, and I don't.
It's one of those. It's like the end of The Notebook. Once you know what I mean?
Yes,
like,
absolutely.
You just instantly die when you lose.
Yeah, I
Well,
I do
Don
believe-
Jr. could always take up the mantle. That would be
Oh
funny.
man, we need our first president who
Ugh.
fucks, and that's obviously Don Jr.
We need our first epic president.
Oh man, I love Don Jr. and all of his epic ways and his cool.
What if
Twitter
Eric
burns
ran instead?
that aren't? Oh, poor. Eric's a
What
piece
if
of
Eric
shit too.
tried?
Could you imagine just like how much just even Donald Trump would make fun of Eric? Donald would probably campaign against Eric.
That's actually okay. Here's my dream scenario now. Don Jr. announces, and then Don gets so annoyed that he runs against him.
Oh fuck. Oh, I can't.
Like very embarrassing.
That's what
My
I want.
worst child.
Yeah. I knew from the time he was a little kid, not gonna be shit. and now he's up. Like, oh my god.
He's not beautiful and tall like Barron. He's an embarrassment.
I saw a tweet, and it might have been you, Josh, but I don't remember who it was. They were like, man, imagine just like how much it gets under Don and Eric's skin when Donald Trump talks about how beautiful and tall Barron is.
Seriously, though, because I think he actually respects... I think the thing is that's his child with Melania.
Mm-hmm.
And so I think he kind of thinks, other than, like, obviously, Ivanka, he adores. But
Oh, yeah. That's one
the
word.
boys, he's just kind of like, ugh. How did these come from me? And he blames the women who produced them.
Also, you know
But
who
then-
the only Trump that I sometimes feel like just a tiny bit of like, I don't want to call it, I feel bad for them, but like, sometimes like, oh, that's a tough shake, is Tiffany. I think she has tried everything to get her dad to love her as much as he loves Ivanka.
To even notice her.
And- Yeah. And man,
Yeah.
it's not working. And it's like, girl, he's not that into you. Move on.
Was it this week
feel
that
bad for
Matt
Barron,
Gates was
too.
horny for
Just-
Tiffany? Was that this week? That...
Oh, wait.
Oh my God, yes.
I forgot about that.
I enjoyed that.
God, we are all on Twitter too much.
Yeah.
Right, exactly. Yeah, I should not know that Matt Gates is horny for Tiffany Trump, but
We're
But I
just a
do.
Twitter gossip show.
Yeah, at this point.
basically. I mean, that's what podcasts are, I think. It's just...
Yeah.
We have no unique insights at all. We just
None.
relay all the Twitter gossip.
Look, I honestly just want to gossip all the time, so this is a dream come true.
Yeah.
My world kind of came to an end
what
this
else do
week
we have
when,
about-
when Rudy's hair dye started dripping down his face. I honestly, that was a
Ouch.
break in reality for me. You cannot
Honestly,
sit there
same.
and tell me what the fuck is going on. Are they doing it on purpose? Are they just trying to freak us out?
I mean, Rudy has had the worst month of any public figure other than maybe Harvey Weinstein that I've seen
Oh my God,
Like-
you're so right.
ever. Like, the L's he has taken this month,
Oh.
from the Borat movie to the Four Seasons to his hair dye running out and him just making an ass out of himself again and again in court.
Like,
How can you show your face?
are they commanding him to take the L to distract from something? Or is he just this fucking goofy?
I wonder.
And I feel like we just kind of glossed right on over the fact of the Borat movie. Because what the fuck was that? I feel like we didn't spend enough time
I mean,
talking about that.
Maybe it is a thing where, like, if you have drunkenly embarrassed yourself and you're like, oh no, I want to forget that, so you get drunk again and embarrass yourself again, and then you want to forget that. I think as long as he keeps making bigger and bigger mistakes, he doesn't have to think about the other mistakes he's made recently.
Next time his hair is just
That's
gonna
our-
he's gonna mop his head and his toupee will come off in his hand.
It's bad.
I do think it is funny that Rudy Giuliani referred to the Democrats trying to steal the election as like the worst crime that's ever happened in America. Especially like somebody pointing out, because like, obviously he was the mayor of New York City on 9/11.
Do you?
Maybe his brain is just so far gone that he can't even remember.
I honestly wonder if Giuliani is like secretly like a patriot trying to save the republic. I mean, I don't really think that's true, but at this point that would make more sense than somebody embarrassing themselves this much, this hard, this many times for Donald Trump. That's the thing, is the people that are willing to ruin their entire lives and just really going hard in the paint for fucking Donald Trump. Like,
At this point, too.
yeah, like man, like this is a sinking
Billy Long.
Well, what else does he have to do?
Our
honestly?
favorite.
He has nothing better to do.
Yeah.
That is actually, if you can use it later for, if you can connect to his voters and use your support for him, I understand it. It makes logical sense. But if you have nothing, if you're Rudy Giuliani, you're not running for anything. What do you care?
Exactly. Like, yeah, exactly. What does he only has like everything to lose over this and literally nothing to gain. Like, he's just like a step above Chris Christie at this point.
Which I
Chris
saw.
Christie said on one of the morning shows today that it was over.
Yeah,
basically.
yeah. That he
Oh,
said
shit.
Trump was embarrassing himself or something, which is hilarious coming from Chris Christie, who has just been trying so hard to get a scrap of
Chris
approval
Christie,
from Trump for the last 4 years. He's done. He's
Chris
fed
Christie
up.
has finally realized that he doesn't need to sit with the cool kids, but he's still deeply uncool. He's just embraced it.
Deeply. Still, no one likes
he just
him.
wants
Yeah.
he wants Bruce Springsteen to let him sit in a box seat again at one of his shows.
Man,
That's all Chris wants.
I truly cannot imagine loving Bruce Springsteen that much. And it kind of goes back to like the Parasite thing and just completely missing the point of his whole collected works. Like, how do you listen to that much Bruce Springsteen and be like, man, I don't think the workers should have any power? Like, what?
It's one of those things where they play Born in the USA at I remember being, this is probably in like 2004, I was at a John Ashcroft event on the Evangel campus where my protest sign got taken away. But the lead out music was Born in the USA. And I was like, I don't think you understand what this song is about.
It's not just over the summer.
So
We were.
used to work.
Go ahead, Taylor.
Oh, yeah. Oh, I was just going to say, I used to work in retail pharmacies when I was in my really early 20s. And that song used to play over, like, the Walmart, like, speaker in the summers. And one time, a lady came up and told me that Bruce Springsteen wrote that song for Ronald Reagan. I was like, I don't think that's true. And she tried to argue with me. And I was like, okay, this is fine.
You're just completely wrong, but it's fine.
Yeah.
No, over the summer we were at that protest in Branson in front of Dixie Outfitters, and we were on opposing sides of the
Sponsor of the podcast.
What?
I said sponsor of the podcast, Dixie Outfitters.
We need to get Calvin's next door to sponsor the pod.
Yeah.
Do all bookshop owners know each other? Do you know the owner of Calvin's?
No, but I used to go in there when I used to go to Branson a lot and like trade books, but I don't know her.
Pat was wondering if it was
I know all the ones in Springfield.
if it was a Republican bookstore. I said I think she just has old paperback mysteries, but
Yeah, I think it seems apolitical. I just think she's stuck next to the the Klan store.
the Klan store, yeah. Well, it was
Not ideal.
back to the story. The opposing side, we were on opposing sides of the street, and the people defending Dixie Outfitters brought out a giant speaker, but started playing things like Born in the USA and Fortunate Son. And we were just standing across the street.
Every time.
Like, what? These don't mean what you think they mean.
Now we're going to play Rage Against the Machine's Killing in the Name of. This one goes out to you, Black Lives Matter.
God.
Yeah, just no ability to understand. Not even subtext. Text.
Yeah, literally basic text.
Just the blatant text.
Or even the name of the
Okay.
band, Rage Against the Machine. You guys can't, like, people are so shocked when they're like, oh my god, Rage Against the Machine's political. It's like, what?
I'm just enjoying the tunes, man. I don't need to hear this from you, Tom Morello.
The melody carried me away.
Wait, Killer Mike's Reagan is not a pro-Reagan song? I can't believe that.
God. The children and these these secular songs. Heaven's Gates, Hell's Flames. That's gonna send them straight down.
I think I am gonna I'm gonna transcribe the audio from one of the YouTube videos so we can do a table read.
God, I'm so excited. One of my friends actually texted me. I shared it in our Discord, but one of my friends actually texted me. She was like, we were talking about Heaven's Gates, Hell's Flames. She was like, you guys brought up like a repressed memory of mine. I did not realize that I had of how traumatizing that shit was. I was like, oh girl.
We're just here to provide representation.
Yeah.
I mean, for years I thought my head was going to get chopped off during the tribulation because of a movie I saw at church. So.
Oh, Josh.
Well, okay. Honestly, this goes into something. I was listening to the No Compromise podcast, which is about Second Amendment stuff, and actually some Missouri people who are stirring the pot with this. But one of they're pouring all of their money into reaching black voters right now. Conservatives are pouring billions of dollars into securing the black vote. And so...
it's honestly smart.
Yeah. It's kind of crazy that the Democrats aren't trying to do that at all, but well,
they think that's owed to them.
I wonder if this has anything to do with your dad's meme, if it's tied into that at all.
Probably. It's also to show. It's very weird. Just that I'm seeing now that he changed it when I was trying to go back and find the exact wording.
That is deeply weird.
Please read.
Yeah.
If you feel comfortable in sharing his...
I'm sharing it as we speak.
Okay. Because it's beautiful.
I'll talk about this later, but I had a 2-week internship in D.C. When I was at Evangel, and we went to the Heritage Foundation.
Oh God, Josh,
as part of it, and they explained how they were going to win the black vote, and this was like this was 2004, but they were saying we're going to use gay marriage and we're going to win black voters by appealing to their homophobia.
Oh my God.
Oh, there's actually...
And they were just like openly saying it as these like buttoned up Heritage Foundation like guys.
Well, in the numbers coming off of the election,
a very weird speech to give to college students.
I believe that Trump got more of the black vote this election than he did the last one. I don't remember the exact numbers, but I don't know. It's a shame there's nobody trying to fill the material needs of the people, because whichever party is smart enough to at least pretend they're going to do that can probably find themselves in quite a bit of power.
Yeah. I mean, Trump... I don't see Tom Cotton appealing in the same way Trump can, because he's Tom Cotton.
Because his neck's too long.
Tom Cotton can barely... Yeah. Tom Cotton barely appeals to Tom Cotton. Arkansas, I believe, is the only state that Tom Cotton could rise to where he's at. I just think our political landscape has made this monster, and it's disturbing.
Yeah. Also, Ted Cruz tweeted out something today, and it was a turkey with a star over it, and it said, all caps, come and take it.
Like, they know that they're not banning turkey. Like, that's not... I do genuinely believe that might be what some people are afraid of, that you can't have the Thanksgiving foods. And that's not it, guys. I'm here to tell you, you can cook turkey not on Thanksgiving.
I ate turkey cutlets this morning because I bought them to eat on Thursday, and then I just had them for breakfast because I'm a glutton.
I saw you tweet that, Josh, and I've never felt more proud of you. Just like as a friend.
9:30 in the morning.
We are actually super excited that the holidays have been canceled, because for the entire time we've been married, we haven't been able to have any holidays to ourselves. So we're doing an Eastern European spread for Thanksgiving this year. Take that.
Oh, that'll be fun.
The only other thing I'll say about the cruise thing is Cori Bush had a really good response to it, to his come and take it. And she said, I hope this is a legitimate offer to the 2,500 people who were lined up at a food bank in your state last week.
Nice.
God, I love Cori Bush so much.
She's really doing it.
She's truly one of the few politicians that I'm okay if people stand.
Yeah, we have to put our full support behind Cori if we want the rest of the politicians to follow.
Yeah, absolutely.
So do we want to get into another politician that I stand?
Yes.
Okay. So this is mostly Springfield history at this point, but I fear that this will come back. So I think I can still talk about this guy. Although, as you will see, he will probably threaten me for this. But that'll give us a little bit of news coverage. Okay, so in the
one of our 7 lawsuits.
I am not mentioning the one of our most embarrassing Springfield politicians that absolutely will sue us because she can't stop suing people and losing. She's the Rudy of Springfield. Or Nixa now. She lost the mayoral election for Springfield and then moved to Nixa. So
Is she going to run in Nixa?
Probably. She just keeps suing. Anyway, okay. So this guy, how do I explain him? Okay, so I thought he was a Christian rapper, but it seems... Okay, so his name is Curtis Montgomery Jr. And I thought he was a Christian rapper, but it seems like he just runs a Facebook Christian rap fan page. Because I was desperately...
How much Christian rap is in Springfield? Tom never mentioned this.
I was hoping to find any of his raps that we could use as audio, but it seems like he may not personally rap. He's just a fan of Christian rap.
What's better, being a Christian rapper or running a Christian rap fan page? I don't know.
I think if you're a Christian rapper, you can still bring girls backstage. So...
But only for side hugs.
That's what your backstage pass gets you, sweetie. A side hug at the Wednesday night service at James River. Okay.
I wonder if they get Christian rappers to open for Heaven's Gates Hell's Flames.
We will find
to
out.
Pump the crowd up.
Heaven's Gates Hell's Flames if Christian rappers go to heaven or hell. Because maybe it was sin all along, just to rap. Much like Christian rock. So he started as a libertarian, like a complete Ron Paul guy. And that's where he was when he ran. So here's his background. This is a quote from him. I came from the hood of Springfield. He's from the Grant Beach area, by the way. He said, quote, I had to pull...
That's where we lived when my son was born.
So he's straight out of the hood of Springfield. I had to pull myself up by my own bootstraps and go. He's a bootstrap guy. So he's fourth generation from Springfield. He went to OTC and Evangel University. A fellow Evangel boy. So the issues he ran for city council on were privatizing the fire department.
Oh my god!
A hot take, if you will.
And that military vets should not receive benefits.
What?
And he said the only troop he ever needed to defend him did so 2,000 years ago on the cross. And he keeps telling that to those mercenaries.
Holy shit.
So he is honestly probably the first candidate that could unite everyone else against him. And I'm not even into the bad stuff yet.
What?
You gotta hand it to him. He must be a man of conviction to have these ideas and run on them.
Honestly, when Alf runs against Billy Long, it is going to be me with equally. I will probably call troops mercenaries at some point. So maybe I'll get Curtis's endorsement at that point. He won't like my pro funding fire departments stance, though, so maybe not. His other big thing is he's into weed. Like, he used to work with, like, normal... and
Libertarians love weed.
Number one issue. We just want to smoke
They
weed.
love... Yeah. They love weed, but they don't care if minorities get locked up for it. They want white people to have weed.
Yeah. Look, you just want to lay back.
Well, such is the conundrum of the modern libertarian, is that they want to smoke weed and shoot guns and be left alone, but also they love the police.
Yes. It makes no sense. And they don't realize they need roads so they can get to... Their dealer needs to get to their house in some way. And they probably don't have, like, an off-road vehicle that can get there most of the time, because it's probably some, like, wormy guy they knew from high school named Roach. Okay, so one of his most controversial quotes, and agree or disagree with him, it's just something he tweeted on Facebook or said on Facebook. Women running alone in public parks while wearing leggings should not be surprised if they're raped.
Excuse me, what?
Oh,
He later clarified that
okay.
he's not saying it's
Oh.
okay. He's just saying.
Oh, yeah, of course. I mean, not saying I agree with it, but
That
like,
is
you know,
a
ladies,
point.
come on. Women be shopping.
Okay, so he
indeed made a point.
let's see. So he had all of this pushback against his campaign. So he decided to go to Kai, which is a sushi restaurant downtown, to meet with his opponents. And there's YouTube video of it that I spent an hour watching today. And it's just like, I don't know if the person was trying to hide their camera, but Kai's also very dark. That's just like their aesthetic. So it's a terrible video, but also I've got some clips that I'll send to Pat to try to put in, because he has some good quotes in here. But so I'm taking some of this from a Newsleader article. He said, quote, "They're progressive and I'm regressive. I'm a Christian and I'm going to promote modesty, which means dresses to the knees and cover their cleavage."
What the fuck,
What?
dude?
He wants to be...
That's not libertarian in any way.
Exactly. He just wants...
He's only libertarian for men.
Yeah, he wants to do what the Margaret Handmaid's Tale, but
Yes.
also smoke weed.
Yeah.
Oh
I
no!
want to be high as hell as I'm oppressing these women.
Here's the clip I want to put in.
Have you ever oppressed women on weed?
His where he could work is like normal NORML oppression.
It's the side Reddit for normal.
Yeah.
So okay, he was accused of being a misogynist. What do you think his defense is? If you have one guess as to how a man would defend himself.
He's not a misogynist. He just reads the Bible.
Yeah, that's a good guess.
It is a good guess. Okay, no. I've got 3 daughters, and I've been married 13 years. I'm definitely not a misogynist.
Oh. He knows women.
What?
Which is literally Harvey Weinstein's defense.
He's met women.
Like, Harvey Weinstein said, I've got daughters. How could I do this? Buddy.
I have a daughter. I have a sister. I have a mother.
The hat trick. You got them all. Do you have a grandma too, Harvey? Oh, before I forget, in 2016 he voted for Gary Johnson. So he has a pivot here in a second. Don't worry. When he was talking about the Women's March, he said it's all about, quote, sodomy and baby murder. And when that was his original quote.
Yes.
And so when he was pressed on it in this sushi meetup, he said, abortion and gay sex. I just assume that's what all the marches are about, in the most part.
Okay. I hope this guy workshops this at an open mic when it's safe again, because I want to see where this bit goes.
I saw
gay
I will
sex
say,
and abortions.
I saw
My
so
Saturday
many
and Sunday.
abortion and gay sex. And this is a funny little aside in the newsletter thing that the Alyssa Zhu is the person who wrote the article. It says, no one ate except for Montgomery and his wife, who both ordered fish tacos. Which is a hilarious thing to order at this sushi restaurant.
Man, can't even just go for like the safe choice of fried rice. You just go for the fish taco. Okay.
And so at the very end, what he said is, "There's nothing I could have said to change your minds anyway. If you don't like it, if you don't like what I stand for, then go vote for Craig." Which is what Biden said. Biden kept saying that to people, if you, just go vote for the other guy.
Biden got his strategy from Curtis Montgomery Jr.
So let's see. He also said, and this was from his Facebook, that he said, quote, God told me to run for city council, and he vowed to move from the city if he lost.
He always does.
And you're right. Sometimes God wants to do a little goof on you, though, because the final results were 73.4% for Hosmer and 26.6% for old Curtis. Which is frightening that he got that much, but that could just be
26.6% of people thought he was cool.
Yes. Maybe, I mean, he's kind of cool, right? He wants weed. Okay, so I
also couldn't... Oh, go ahead, sorry.
No, go.
I couldn't imagine how devastating of a loss that would be to be like, if I don't win, I'm gonna move, and then it not even be a close race, just to be a fucking blowout. Imagine the town you live in just being like, "Fuck off, please move."
That's what.
Did he move?
No. Okay. So the other thing, and maybe I remember this, but I don't, or didn't until this morning. It kind of like is in my head. So he was or is planning another run.
Oh boy.
But
Curtis, sweetheart, baby, no.
But I think this, and this is why it's definitely okay to talk about him, because on his Facebook it still says he's a conservative libertarian candidate running for Springfield City Council, so he's still public. But this was from
He never updated that?
this. Yeah, this is from 2 or 3 years ago. It's an article about his like comeback, basically, but not really. It is okay. I've got a lot of section from this story to read. And I believe this one is a newsletter article for Harrison Keegan. On Wednesday, Curtis Montgomery Jr. shared a photo of a red and white house. Cute little house. I can't even read it. Cute little house. Sure to be a shame, he wrote. ... So it was from a woman it was a woman's actual house that had criticized him in the past on Facebook. And so the newsleader reached out to him and he says, "Was it a threat? No. Was it said to get attention? Yes." He said in a message to the newsleader. Montgomery said he was quoting a prank YouTube video called "That's a Cute Baby. Sure would be a shame."
What?
Again, he wants to hold power. He said, "I did what it..."
That YouTube video that everyone has seen.
Classic.
That classic YouTube video.
It did what I wanted it to do. That revealed the name of this woman who talks crap and hides behind fake Facebook accounts. And then they list some of the thing he said about women running the park, and also that he said that women who wear bikini tops are, quote, whores.
Oh, damn it. I knew that was going to be what took me down.
And so he said about this woman that she shared screenshots of his comments, which of course he doesn't want because everything he says is horrible. And he said, quote, "People who have crossed me in the past have got dealt with one way or another."
Oh no.
Jesus Christ.
And then, this is actually my favorite quote from him. "They keep trying to intimidate me, hoping I will go away. They did the same thing to Trump, Kavanaugh, Rand Paul, Roseanne." Look, he knows how to do a joke. The Roseanne in the end is a kicker.
Oh my God. This man has got some comedic, like he's got some timing. God damn, I'm a little jealous, if we're being honest. Jesus Christ. Much like Jesus of Nazareth.
Oh, I hope he runs again.
Roseanne has been persecuted.
So it ends with it saying that the woman went to the police to try to file a report against him, and they said that should be handled by Facebook, not the police. Because, and this is a constant thing with harassment or threats online, the police either don't know what to do with it or they don't want to deal with it. You don't.
They just
Right.
don't care.
And then the news leader contacted them and they said, if she wants to come back, we can file a report. Because now there's like a public attachment to it, not just someone coming and saying, "This guy has essentially threatened to burn down my house."
Jesus.
Okay, so here's the very last thing. It's my favorite. It's just an all-timer from Curtis.
Oh God, I'm so excited right now.
Oh no.
I've had this
Okay. Let me take a
screenshotted
deep breath.
for years. And I reshare it every time it comes up again. And I don't have the original post, and I went to try to find it today, and it didn't. It seems to have been deleted.
Oh God, I'm so excited.
"No, Mira, we never made out behind the dumpster at the palace. I guess I just made that up. ... Shaking my head." So
Who posts that?
the palace is our second-run movie theater. It was. It's closed now. It's now like a church.
It's closed, sadly.
But
Yeah.
But during his campaign, someone was calling him out because he, for whatever reason, was just talking bad about what a creep he was, and saying they dated or something. And so we never made out behind the dumpster at the palace. And then the next comment is, since when does making out constitute dating? And then the next person says, when it's done behind the dumpster, that's a marriage where Curtis is from. It's a marriage where Curtis is from.
Oh my god, that might be the best burn I have ever heard.
And then Curtis...
I don't think he seems cool enough to make out behind the dumpster at the palace.
Right. And then his last comment is, it was only a few weeks, but we still dated. And I guess she's just catching feelings or something.
Ah, yes.
Anyway, that's Curtis Montgomery Jr. His current Facebook profile picture is him with Mike Parson.
Man, Curtis... Jesus Christ, Curtis. You sound like a Nashville country music guy who almost made it.
He tried out
some
to
of
be
the same
in the Legends.
The same beliefs, yeah.
I bet he's one of those conservative guys who wears the black cowboy hat to prove he's a man. Like
absolutely.
Ben Shapiro and that. I've seen a few of them. Wow, I think Alf should run against Curtis.
If Curtis runs again, Alf is hopping in the race.
So I will say I just pulled Curtis up on Facebook, and we have the 2 worst mutual friends in common of people that I know from, and I won't share them because one of them probably would try to sue us. But I'll share them after this. But oh god, man. What a man. In one of his profile pictures, He looks like he's in prison.
Well, I think...
Is this an anarchy Jesus fish symbol? In one of his?
You know, if tattoos were legal when you were 16, there's a good chance I would have had a Jesus anarchy fish tattoo. So, I get that.
Man, I did not...
Isn't he a guy with the chin strap beard, too? Doesn't he have a chin strap?
He used to.
Yeah.
I don't know if he still does. That's in his picture that I'm looking at from
like
the saved photo I have.
Oh, man, this is a true gem. Thank you, Josh. You've given me so many things in our friendship. This might be the best. Thank you so much.
Just, honestly, a Springfield legend to me. Just when we talk about uniters, not dividers, I believe this man united the city in mutual hatred for the worst possible person with the worst possible opinions.
He made this
He sounds
his
in the
profile
running.
picture.
He could get his own channel.
Honestly, yeah, I would be into that. One of his profile pictures is a pride flag, and the text over it says, "Take God's symbol from the last time he destroyed the earth and wave it around as your symbol of sin. Great idea. Excuse me while I take shelter." That sounds like something your dad would share, Josh.
You're not even joking.
No, I'm absolutely not.
I think I want to see my dad's ballot from that year because I think he was still living here. I demand it. I think about that might have been like him voting for Trump, where he's like, "I vote for the ideas, not the person behind them."
Oh.
The idea is that women need to cover up that cleave.
Yeah, listen, we cannot... No tits out, ladies.
Also,
tits in
dresses
2020.
to the ground? Okay, dude.
Man, he sounds like an absolute riot to be around. I hope that he comes out to the next bookmark show that I do. I'm gonna put him on my +1.
Personally invite him.
I am, and I'm gonna ask him to bring some weed.
We can use him for something good.
You know he'll have it.
Yeah. Apparently, just browsing his Facebook, he had a bad experience with absinthe. Which haven't we all? You're really posting that in 2020. Okay, bud. Also, Democrat friends, do you believe all votes should count or only all legal votes should count? So he's got some hot takes.
That's a quote from my dad as well.
Yeah, ma'am, I'm afraid that Curtis might be at your family Thanksgiving.
He's the new son. They have adopted him.
They're gonna have to give him a J name.
Give him your plane ticket.
He'll call him
What?
Jurtis.
Okay, well, I'm going to switch it up a little bit and do a historical event from the Ozarks.
Oh, I'm very excited.
And this is the story of the Jasper Bridge standoff. So, 1979, Keith Heigler, 23 years old, from North Carolina, a Marine Corps vet, travels to San Francisco to spread the good word of Daddy Foo. His friends and family described him as friendly, having a flair for comedy.
This happened really close to where I grew up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That area. You can probably give us some insight into the area, maybe.
Mm-hmm.
So his friends described him as being friendly, having a flair for comedy, and being fascinated with the Bible from a young age. So in 79, he was a few years into his mission of traveling the country, spreading God's message, focusing his outreach mainly on bikers. But a couple of years before he landed in San Francisco, in 1977, he found himself in Jasper, Arkansas. And I think he ended up there because he was really fascinated with motorcycles, and he dressed in leather and denim biker outfits, even though he never owned a motorcycle. And that stretch of the Ozarks where Jasper
Stolen valor,
is...
stolen valor, stolen valor.
Yeah. That stretch of the Ozarks where Jasper is, that's a big motorcycle area, right?
Yes.
I think
Yeah.
bikers love it because it's like a really technical drive.
Yeah, I mean,
it's
yeah,
gorgeous.
It's beautiful. It's up just like this, little tiny highway. It just like twists and turns up. It's Highway 7 South here in Arkansas.
So I think there's a lot of biker bars and stuff. I know like in Eureka Springs there is too.
There's really no
So-
bars in Jasper, but
Our man-
yeah, but in Eureka there definitely is.
Well, Keith found himself in Jasper, and he was living there for a little while, and he went into the general store on the Jasper Square, and there he met the owner, Emery Lamb, who was selling pamphlets filled with scripture verse for 25 cents. And the way the story goes is that Keith asked Lamb what was in the pamphlet that was worth a quarter, and so Lamb let Keith take one for free, and Keith came back later and paid him the quarter and proclaimed that Lamb was the Messiah, and then moved into the shed in his backyard.
Mm-hmm.
Checks out so far. So people around town already knew Emery Lamb under the name of Foo, because he would hand out coins with the letters FOU printed on them, and you could bring them back to the store to redeem them for a soda pop. And he said that Foo stood for Father of the Universe. So Keith began his devotion to his Messiah, helping him start his church, the Foundation of Ubiquity, which is also Foo. And I couldn't really find a whole lot of information about the religion itself, and I think the reason for that will become clear a little later on. But the main tenet seems to be just that we live in a universal state of being, existing everywhere at the same time. But then there's a little bit of revelations thrown in there. And I'm unable to find how much of the revelation stuff came from Keith himself, because it was him. Keith got it into his head that he was one of two witnesses mentioned in Revelations chapter 11. That says, And I will appoint my 2 witnesses, and they will prophesy for 1,260 days, clothed in sackcloth. But I think Keith interpreted that as leather daddy attire. So at this point, he decided he was one of these 2 witnesses, and he asked Imri Lamb, who he was now calling Daddy Foo, if he would be the other witness. And Daddy Foo declined. But
That's tough.
But it's worth noting here that Daddy Foo was a biker. He had owned a Harley Sportster all of his life. And for some reason, the regular car that he drove around was a hearse.
Uh-huh.
But Keith had all of his interests combined into one person now. So he left Jasper to continue traveling the country, now spreading the word of Foo to bikers across the land. And he started calling himself Baby Foo. And he was looking for that second witness. And so while he was in San Francisco in 1979, he met a 22-year-old Kate Clark, who was the daughter of the Pacifica, California mayor, Ellie McGuire Clark. Just a little fun fact there. So Kate returned to Jasper with Keith and became Foo's spiritual daughter, in the same way that Keith was Foo's spiritual son. And Foo joined them together on January 21st, 1979, and Kate became Keith's second witness. She got a job in the kitchen of the Ozark Cafe in Jasper and was well liked by everyone in town.
The Ozark Cafe is still there, and
Which
it's
is what?
very delicious. Anybody listening, go eat there. So sorry.
One of the articles described it as world famous.
It's so good.
So. And I mean, Jasper is a really, really cute little town. You go through there on the way to, I don't know where I would be on the
Russellville.
way to, but coming from Branson. And you also pass the Dog Patch USA on the way to Jasper. That's a topic for another day. Johnny Morris, I think, bought up Dog Patch USA. I'm pissed about it.
He did.
Okay, anyway. Oh, okay. So Kate started wearing the biker outfits too. And the 2 of them started to tell everybody that they had a plan, that they were going to spread the word of Foo for 1,260 days. And then in 1982, they would die and be resurrected in 3.5 days. And the people of Jasper didn't pay much mind to it. They couldn't believe a nice young couple would do anything to hurt anyone. This is where we exchange dark glances. So, June 8th, 1982. Oh, hang on. June 8th, 1982, the Heiglers printed flyers and took an ad out in the newspaper that said, "Yep, it's here. Attention, 144,000. Where will you be on the 4th of July? The Son of Man has risen. Brothers, we will ride again. Jasper, Arkansas, July 3rd through the 7th. And what that 144,000, isn't that a reference to, isn't that something Jehovah's Witnesses?
Yes, yeah. They believe that there will
Believe-
only be 144,000 in heaven. And do they just think that everyone who died before is in hell?
I don't is that only Jehovah's Witness that believes
I was going to
that?
say
I
it
don't
was like,
understand that one at all.
There's some other religions I think that do that, but
Is it a Revelations thing?
Yeah, I think
it
it's
isn't. There is something that it's taken out of the Bible. This is how long it's been since I've been in the Word. I want to say you're right. It's Jehovah's Witnesses, but it's not Calvinist. They just believe you're predestined. I don't know, but there is that thing where there will only be there are only 144,000 chosen, kind of thing.
So you're just supposed to go your whole life not celebrating your birthday in case you're one of the 144,000.
Fingers
Imagine-
crossed that.
Yeah,
I'm going
imagine
up.
never celebrating your birthday or Christmas and then still going to hell.
I could have just been saying online all month, it's my birthday month, and getting people to be nice to me, but instead I went to hell.
Well, for the majority of the world, that will be a reality. All right, so they put up their flyers, they put it out in the newspaper. No one paid any attention to it. But on the morning of July 3rd, 1982, Keith and Kate got on a Continental Trailways bus in Little Rock, bound for Wichita, Kansas. When the bus made a stop in Western Grove, which, that's pretty near Harrison,
Yeah, I
isn't
used
it?
to.
I don't
yeah,
know where that
it's
is.
maybe about 20 minutes outside of Harrison.
So the bus stopped in Western Grove, and the couple pulled their guns on the driver and demanded he take the bus with its 15 passengers back to Jasper. When he arrived, they demanded he block the bridge with the bus over the Little Buffalo River to attract the attention of police. And so that brought Sheriff Ray Watkins to the scene. And here's a quote from Sheriff Watkins. I was working on my Commode when I got the call. They told me there was a hostage situation on the bridge. I said, okay. So I put my gun on and got in the car and drove down to the bridge.
You know, he was just like, these goddamn
And I've been-
hippies. God damn it. Just the whole time he's putting his gun on.
I've been trying for 3 days to figure out if working on my Commode is a euphemism for taking a shit.
Oh my God.
Or
Absolutely.
he was, or was he doing plumbing work?
Like,
Regardless, why would he tell this to a reporter?
like, pinch it off. The hippies are blocking the bridge.
He's being charming. I get it.
All right, so Sheriff Ray's on the scene, and when he gets there, Keith pointed out to Sheriff Watkins that he had voted for him, and he and Kate made their demands, there were 3 demands. First, they wanted a TV crew from Springfield to come down and interview them so they could let everyone know who the Messiah was. 2, they wanted police to shoot them so they could be resurrected in 3.5 days. And 3, they wanted their bodies to lie on Emery Land's land until they were resurrected. So they said that they had 2 hours to get the news crew there, and then a hostage would be shot every 30 minutes. And they claimed to have dynamite on them, but it was later discovered that Keith had just painted a bundle of sticks red to look like dynamite. Which I feel like just might be the cartoon version of dynamite. I don't
He,
know.
like, wrote Acme on it.
Yeah, I was just going to say Looney Tunes shit.
So Sheriff Watkins deputized a friend of the Heiglers who was known as Fast Eddie to work to find Emery Lamb and bring him to the scene because he only lived 2 miles from the bridge to see if he could defuse this. But when Fast Eddie found Foo, he declined, saying he had no business going down there. And he was afraid he would be shot.
That's anytime someone tries to deputize me, I'm just like, no, I'm afraid I'm going to get shot.
He later said, I thought for a minute, and I thought I'd rather not go, because it's a police situation, and I thought they would be better able to handle it. And Sheriff Watkins said that he didn't blame him a bit. He wouldn't have come down either.
Imagine just thinking, yeah, the police got this. It's good.
Like, hey, these 2 kids who have been living in your shed and calling you daddy are saying they're going to blow the bridge up. Do you want to talk to them? Yeah, I'll pass. I'm good. There's a great photograph, which I might post to the Instagram, some of the photos from this, where the Heiglers are on the door of the bus and they're in their biker gear. And Sheriff Ray Watkins is outside the bus and he's in like a pearl snap button down with the sleeves torn off and his camo trucker cap. It's pretty good.
Have you seen the video of this?
No, I haven't.
Well,
have you?
It's coming back to me as you've been telling the story, but there's a 99% chance that at Evangel in a philosophy class they showed me this video. If you have to keep telling the story, and I'll be able to confirm or deny.
Okay.
If I did.
Okay. And in what context? Why would they have been?
Well,
were they saying it was bad or good?
Well, it depends on if this is the same story. So it sounds very like everything you're saying sounds exactly the same as what I remember.
So at around 2:45 that day, a reporter with KYTV in Springfield arrived by helicopter to the scene, having negotiated that 7 of the hostages be released before he got there. The Heiglers gave their interview, which I want to find the interview.
Mm-hmm.
But they explained some of their beliefs about Lamb being the Son of God and their faith that they would be resurrected on July 7th, 3.5 days later. And following the interview, they released the remaining hostages, but continued to negotiate with the sheriff for 2 more hours, begging the police to kill them. And Keith would sometimes falter, but Kate would remind him that they had to die that day. So finally, they stepped off the bus and began advancing towards the police. They had fastened their pistols to their wrists so that the pistols couldn't be taken away in an altercation. And they stopped to kiss before dropping to their knees and crawling towards police, begging to be killed. They raised their weapons, and Sheriff Watkins gave the order for them to be shot in the shoulders. Both were hit and fell to the ground, while Kate fired 3 shots at police, then fired 2 shots at Keith, the first missing and hitting the bridge, and the second hitting him in the chest. Then she fired into her own chest. Keith died at the scene, while Kate died several hours later at the Boone County Hospital. And while Kate emptied her clip, Keith never touched his trigger. So is that the story
absolutely.
You heard, Josh?
100%.
Yeah.
Like, he showed us the video.
So, was it the video of them being interviewed?
No, it's the video of them being killed. I mean, it's the whole thing.
Oh, okay.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Light philosophy watching.
No, I'm trying to remember if it was Christian doctrine or philosophy.
What was the point in showing the video?
I think it's something that he found, like he cried, like he showed it every year and he cried watching it, because I think it was something that he was mostly talking about how like dogma can like ruin your mind kind of thing.
Man, they really hit the nail on the head on that one.
He was one of the better teachers. I was thinking about it because a different teacher. Never mind. I'll save this story for a different time. But showed a video of him. He was a cop, but killing someone. But he was also a local.
Oh my god!
What the fuck, Josh?
Oh no!
But anyway, yeah. They showed us that video and just maybe to disturb us.
Good Lord. Well, see, what I can't figure out, I really can't figure out how much of this was Emery Lamb imposing this doctrine and how much this Keith guy was just this insane guy. Because, I mean, what they did really just took the wind out of the sails of this cult,
Mm-hmm.
you know?
I mean, that'll do it every time.
It pretty much died after that. And it was one that hadn't even gotten off the ground yet. The highest estimate of people in it that I saw was 150 people. But Emery Lamb said he took no responsibility for what happened, saying He said both that he had no idea what they were trying to do, and also said that he constantly tried to dissuade them from doing it. So
That's exactly what I say
Uh,
when my cat ruins someone's shoe at the bookstore. I say, I take no responsibility, and I tried to discourage him from doing it.
and I also had no idea that he would have.
Yeah. You were back in the art room. I don't know what happens there.
He said, right after it happened, Emery Lamb said to the press, "It's possible they'll come back, and it's possible they won't. It doesn't matter as far as I'm concerned." So he was a cool guy. And interestingly, both families, Keith and Kate's families, honored their final request and allowed their bodies to lie on Emery Lamb's land for 3 days. And then when they didn't resurrect, they collected their bodies.
Man, and this might be inappropriate, but can you imagine just how damn ripe they were after 3 days? Man, like, oh, God.
In the middle of summer? In the middle of July? Yeah. Absolutely.
But I will also say, I'd let him sit out there. Let's find out. Maybe.
Yeah, I mean, guys,
maybe they're right.
What's the worst that's going to happen at this point?
I mean, are you going to take the chance? Yeah.
Yeah.
Why risk it? At that point, you may as well find out.
Harvey,
for his part, Sheriff Watkins said, "Oh, go ahead."
Oh no, I was just going to ask you. Have you ever been out to Daddy Foo's house out in Jasper? Because you can still go to it.
No, you can. I saw where the land had passed hands and who had it, but apparently the church that they built in his backyard is there, and it has all the names of the members inscribed on the rocks.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because when
so, that's exactly something a person like me would go to.
Yeah, because when I was in high school, we went out to there. You could sneak in a dog patch as well, but we went out to Daddy Foo's house like a couple times, like in the dark, because we thought it was scary. But yeah, it's as far as I know, you can still go down there to it. So
sounds like we've got some bonus content.
Hell yeah!
Also,
we can make it happen.
So I looked up. It is Jehovah's Witnesses. It seems like the only ones who believe in the 144,000, and I can't find where they found where they're getting the number, other than in Luke. They think that is. This is Wikipedia, but synonymous with quote the little flock. So I don't know, but now they also believe that could be malleable, because once you get more than 144 in that congregation, you got to be like, actually.
Yeah, that's what I've never understood, is that there's more than 144,000 Jehovah's Witnesses.
It's like anytime you call the shot on the rapture, it's going to be next Thursday, and you'll be like, actually, we misread the calendar by 5 years.
Yeah, it's like that in Parks and Rec, where they just keep re-guessing.
Yeah, you just got to take another shot.
Well, Sheriff Ray took the side of Daddy Foo. He said that Emery Lamb was a pawn, and Keith and Kate were the ringleaders, and he also said Keith was a poser.
Oh, Jesus. Just fucking destroyed.
Yeah, that's the worst thing I want. If anyone ever calls me a poser in death, I will be so upset. Anything else.
The rest of the town, though, they ostracized Emery Lamb, and they wouldn't allow him into their businesses. His wife lost her job. He had to sell the general store. But he stayed in Jasper, and he died there in 1995.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the story, but just a crazy little Ozarks tale. And I can't decide. Was Emery Lamb this cult mastermind? Or did Keith come along and fuck his shit all up? And what about the third wild card here of Kate, who was the only person who fired her weapon when it was all said and done?
Here's what I'm saying. And not to blame women. Because Keith did swoop into San Francisco and convince a woman to come back with him. The mayor's daughter, right?
Mm-hmm. The mayor's
Yeah.
daughter. Not the mayor of San Francisco. The mayor of Pacifica.
Okay,
but
so
close
my
enough.
man swooped in, got a mayor's daughter to come back to Jasper, Arkansas with him to join a cult. So maybe either she wanted to take it over or I don't know. Yeah, you're right.
Well, I mean, it just seems like Fu was like this hippie guy. It kind of seemed like we're all one with the universe. And Keith came in and was like, "No, we're witnesses. Be my other witness." And also, I just find it extremely funny that he was so obsessed with biker stuff but never owned a motorcycle. Like, even when he was
Yeah.
traveling around the country. Why didn't you just buy a bike, dude? These people could still be alive today if he just bought the motorcycle.
I'm going to start dressing like an old-timey airline pilot, but never learn to fly.
You can wear the war hat.
I'm going to steal World War II valor.
Well, that's all I got. That's a little weird little story.
I love how you
Weird little
told
piece
that,
of Ozark
Harvey,
history.
and I'm really glad that you told that story about from my little section of the Ozarks. So thank you so much.
Yeah, and I'm glad you brought back very dark memories for me from Christian Bible school.
Yeah, you really checked a lot of boxes for Hoot and
That
Holler
is
this
a-
week.
I need to get in touch with your professor because I want to find that video and
I'll
watch it.
try to find it.
So
Yeah,
drop his email.
It was a VHS tape. He may have found the original
Oh,
like KYP
shit.
footage kind of thing.
I
Yeah.
bet Steve Grant was still on
Okay.
air.
Ned Reynolds cuts in with sports at some point.
Yeah.
Just very local references here.
And I kind of wonder what's up with. I couldn't find an obituary for Ray Watkins, so I think he must still be kicking. He's a fucking character.
Yeah, it sounds like
Working on his commode.
I love that.
No, that's great.
That's what I'm going to tell people from now on. Give me a minute. I'm working on my commode.
I'm gonna be late to dinner. I'm working on the commode.
They're like, Taylor, you rent.
Well, like
All right,
always,
well,
it looks like we have
what
kept
now?
it to the tight 60 minutes that we have
Yeah, we.
that was our original plan. Well, I want to plug something quickly.
Mhm.
You can find me
Plug,
on
plug,
Parler
plug.
at Racist Alf. Although I forgot my Parler login, so I haven't been able to look at it for like a week. And when I went through like the steps to like get it back, it didn't work. I just second rate over there.
God damn it! How could they not
Yeah.
be more prepared?
I also
Sounds like you need to contact Mr. Holly about this.
I also want to give a shout out to all the Missouri State University students who relentlessly bully their president and their university for continuously messing up. I find it truly inspiring.
Hello, Hooters and Hollers. This is Pat Squatch here on a cold, rainy November midnight, and I want to thank you for listening to another episode of Hoot and Holler. If you like what you hear and you'd like to help us remain independent and achieve some semblance of sustainability, you can head on over to patreon.com/hootnhollerpod and get extra content and monthly episodes starting at just $1 a month. We can be found on all the socials at Hoot and Holler Pod. So give us a follow for episode-related sources and videos and bad takes. While you're at it, if you could do us the kind favor of subscribing, rating, and reviewing the podcast in Apple Podcasts or wherever you get them, that is a huge help in spreading the word and getting us into a few more ears. Speaking of ears, for some reason, We're collecting stories from the October 16th, 2006 Wilco show at the Shrine Mosque in Springfield, Missouri. If you were there or supposed to be or whatever, and you have a recollection of that night and would like to share or know someone who might, record a short voice memo in a quiet place telling us about it and send it to hootnhollerpod@gmail.com. And finally, we're trying to showcase Ozark's music in all its various forms at the end of each episode. And if you'd like to submit something to share, please feel free to drop us a line at that email address. Again, that's hootnhollerpod@gmail.com. This week we have a track called Hedonists from the Good Buds and Dudes and Friends in Dream Girl off their 2018 self-titled record. All right. Enjoy, stay safe, and look after one another. We'll talk to you next week.